There's a voice inside you that whispers every night, you could be more. You try to silence it, distract yourself, scroll a little longer, convince yourself that you're doing fine, but deep down, you know the truth. You're not living anywhere near your potential. And that thought burns. It haunts you. Because you weren't born to be average. You weren't created to just exist, to repeat every day like a loop, to wake up, go to work, pay bills, and die quietly. You were made for something more. You can feel it every time you see someone winning. Something in you stirs. That's not jealousy. That's your soul reminding you what you could be if you stop settling. The fear of being average isn't a weakness. It's your greatest weapon. Because average people are comfortable. They accept good enough. But you can't stand the thought of looking back one day and realizing you wasted your shot. Every second you spend waiting is another second slipping away. The clock doesn't stop for your excuses. The world doesn't pause for your hesitation. You say, someday, but someday is a lie. There's only now. You see, the difference between the great and the average isn't talent, it's obsession. Average people dabble, great people commit. They don't need motivation, they're driven by fear. Fear of mediocrity. Fear of regret. Fear of dying with potential still inside them. That's what lights their fire every morning. Think about it. What if you never become who you were supposed to be? What if the version of you that could have changed everything never gets the chance to exist because you were too tired, too distracted, too scared? That thought should make you uncomfortable. It should push you harder than any external reward ever could. You have choices to chase comfort or to chase greatness. Comfort feels good, but it kills dreams. Greatness hurts, but it builds legacies. Every rep in the gym, every late night grind, every sacrifice you make, that's what separates the chosen few from the crowd. Because most people will never push themselves far enough to find out what they're capable of. You want to know what's scarier than failure? Regret. You can recover from a failure. You can rebuild, restart, and rise again. But you can't rewind time. You can't go back to the moment you decided to quit. That's why I fear being average, because average means I gave up on myself. The truth is, most people won't understand your drive. They'll tell you to relax, to enjoy life, to slow down. But what they don't get is that this fire inside you doesn't burn for comfort. It burns for purpose. You don't want a normal life. You don't want easy. You want meaning. And meaning only comes through struggle. There will be days when you question yourself, when you'll feel invisible, when your hard work doesn't seem to matter. That's the test. That's when most people fold. But not you. You'll remember why you started. You'll remember that the fear of being average is stronger than the pain of progress. You'll get up even when your body screams no. You'll work in silence when no one claps for you. You'll stay disciplined when the world tempts you to quit. Because you're not chasing validation, you're chasing evolution. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop overthinking every move. Just start. Start messy, start afraid, start uncertain, but start. Every legend began as a beginner who refused to settle for enough. The ones who change their lives are not the ones who have it all figured out. They're the ones who do it anyway. Average people complain about problems. You build solutions. Average people blame circumstances. You create opportunities. Average people quit when it hurts. You keep going because the pain is proof you're still alive. And as long as you're alive, you can change. Remember this, your potential means nothing if you don't act on it. Dreams mean nothing without execution. Hope means nothing without discipline. You can read every motivational quote, watch every video, make every plan, but until you move, until you act, it's just noise. You're not tired, you're unfulfilled. You're not lost, you're distracted. You don't lack motivation, you lack focus. You've spent too much time doubting yourself, too much time trying to fit in when you were born to stand out. You were never meant to blend in with the crowd. You were meant to lead it. But leadership requires courage. Courage to be misunderstood, courage to be doubted, courage to stand alone when no one believes in you. This is your reminder. Greatness is not found in comfort zones. It's born in discomfort, in discipline, in the days when you want to give up but don't. The fear of being average is not your enemy. It's your guide. Let it drive you. Let it remind you that every second you waste is another chance slipping away. You owe it to yourself, not to prove others wrong, but to prove yourself right. You owe it to the person you were yesterday to wake up and do better today. You owe it to your future self to build the life you dream about right now. Because one day you'll look back, and when you do, I want you to smile knowing you didn't settle. You didn't give in. You didn't become average. You became extraordinary. There's a moment in every journey when your mind starts whispering, maybe this is enough. That's the moment most people lose. Because the human brain loves comfort. It wants to protect you, keep you safe, keep you average. It says, you've done more than others, you deserve a break. But you know the truth. Enough is the enemy of greatness. Enough is where dreams go to die. The world doesn't remember the ones who almost made it. It remembers those who refuse to stop. Every success story you admire was built by someone who ignored that whisper, who looked fear in the eye and said, not today. Average is easy because it's crowded. There's company in mediocrity, people who will pat you on the back and tell you, at least you tried. But the top is empty. The top is lonely. And that's why it's beautiful. Because only the few who can handle that isolation ever reach it. You see, the fear of being average isn't about ego. It's about potential. It's about knowing you are given something powerful, a mind, a vision, a heartbeat, and refusing to waste it. You fear being average because you know what you're capable of. And that's what separates you. So when you feel tired, when your body aches, when your mind screams, stop. You must remind yourself, this is the price. Every ounce of greatness costs pain. But that pain, it's not punishment. It's proof that you're alive, that you're doing what average people won't. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable every single day, to wake up before the world, to work in silence, to sacrifice the moment for the mission. Because while others sleep, you're building. While they're doubting, you're proving. While they're quitting, you're growing. You can't cheat the grind. You can't fake consistency. You can't pretend your way to purpose. Every rep, every failure, every silent night of frustration is shaping you into someone unbreakable. Don't fear hard work. Fear the day you wake up and realize you've wasted years avoiding it. Don't fear failure. Fear being the same person next year because you never took the risk. Most people want the reward, but they don't want the responsibility. They want to look successful, not be successful. But real success isn't glamorous. It's dirty, lonely, and full of days where nothing seems to work. But that's what makes it rare. That's what makes it worth it. And when those moments come, the moments where quitting looks easier, remember why you started. Remember the nights you prayed for a chance to change your life. Remember the times you looked in the mirror and promised yourself, never again. Average people break those promises. You don't. Because you understand something most people don't. Pain is temporary, but regret lasts forever. Every morning you wake up with two choices. Repeat yesterday or rewrite it. Every single day is a chance to move one step closer to who you're meant to be. The world won't hand you anything. You have to take it. You have to fight for it. You have to show up even when no one's watching, because that's where character is built. You don't get what you want. You get what you earn. You don't attract success. You become the kind of person success can't ignore. And that transformation only happens when you decide that being average is no longer an option. You might be tired right now. You might feel unseen, unappreciated, unnoticed. But that's part of the process. The cocoon is dark before the butterfly emerges. The night is silent before the dawn. You're not behind. You're being built. So let others talk. Let others rest. Let others settle. You keep moving. You keep pushing. You keep becoming. Because one day, the same people who doubted you will wonder how you did it. And you'll smile knowing the answer was simple. I refuse to be average. There's no shortcut to extraordinary. You don't stumble into greatness by accident. It's built through years of sweat, sacrifice, and self-belief. It's built by people who kept going when everyone else stopped. So ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Bad enough to wake up before dawn. Bad enough to keep going after failure. Bad enough to sacrifice your comfort for your calling? Because if the answer is yes, then congratulations, you're already different. You're not chasing perfection, you're chasing growth. You're not trying to impress anyone, you're trying to evolve. You don't need applause, you need progress. Every small step counts. Every single day you show up, you're getting closer. It's not about being the best. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Because the real competition isn't out there, it's in the mirror. That's the only opponent who matters. You can't hide from your reflection. You can't fake progress to yourself. You either did the work or you didn't. You either faced your fear or ran from it. You either lived with purpose or settled for existence. So if you're listening to this, if your heart's beating faster right now, if something inside you is burning, that's your sign. You've been given another day, another chance, another breath. Don't waste it. Don't let comfort steal your destiny. You're not average. You were never meant to be. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your fire, your voice, your courage. You have something no one else has. Your story, your scars, your strength. That's your power. Use it. And when it gets hard, when you're exhausted, when no one believes in you, remember, you're not doing this for them. You're doing it for the version of you that refused to give up. You're doing it for the person you promised you'd become. The fear of being average is not a curse, it's a blessing. It means you still care. It means the fire's still alive. So feed it. Protect it. Let it drive you to build a life that makes you proud. Because the world doesn't remember those who fit in. It remembers those who rise. There comes a point when words don't matter anymore, only action does. You've heard enough motivation. You've watched the videos, read the quotes, listened to the speeches. But the truth is, none of that means anything unless you decide to move. Because the difference between average and exceptional isn't talent, it's execution. Average people wait for the right moment. Great people create it. You can't keep waiting for motivation to strike. You can't depend on inspiration that fades by sunrise. Discipline, that's what separates dreamers from doers. The discipline to show up when no one cares, to keep grinding when no one's watching, to believe in yourself when everything seems to be falling apart. Every time you act when you don't feel like it, you're rewriting your destiny. Every time you refuse to quit, you're telling the universe, I'm not done yet. You see, life doesn't owe you success. It doesn't hand out rewards for potential. It only rewards effort, consistent, relentless, unapologetic effort. You don't get to say you want greatness and still act average. You don't get to talk about goals while living in excuses. If you want something you've never had, you must do something you've never done. Most people give up right before their breakthrough. They stop one day too early, one rep too soon, one step before the summit. And that's the difference. The greats don't stop when they're tired. They stop when they're finished. So when that voice inside you whispers, you can't, answer back with, watch me. When your legs shake, when your lungs burn, when your mind tells you it's impossible, smile, because that's when growth happens. Pressure is the birthplace of diamonds. And you're still being shaped. You have to fall in love with the process, with the pain, with the climb. Because greatness isn't a destination. It's a decision you make daily. It's showing up when it hurts. It's staying committed when no one claps. It's believing in yourself when doubt tries to drown you. You won't always feel strong. You won't always feel ready. But strength doesn't come from feeling. It comes from fighting. It's born in those silent battles no one sees. The tears, the setbacks, the rejections, they're not breaking you. They're building you. Someday you'll look back and realize every sleepless night, every failed attempt, every lonely morning was necessary. Because it forced you to become the person capable of handling success. So keep going. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. The average mind says, I'll do it tomorrow. The extraordinary mind says, I'll do it now. And that one decision, that tiny difference, creates an entirely different life. Think about this. Every great story you admire started with someone who was underestimated, someone who was told they'd never make it, someone who faced fear, rejection, and pain, and kept moving anyway. You might not be where you want to be yet, but you're not where you used to be. Every step counts. Every effort matters. Every scar tells a story of survival. And one day, when people see you standing tall, when they see the strength in your eyes, they'll call you lucky. But luck had nothing to do with it. It was sweat, discipline, and the refusal to be average. So let them doubt you. Let them laugh. Let them underestimate you. Because the most powerful weapon in the world is a silent grinder. Someone who uses doubt as fuel, pain as motivation, and fear as fire. And you are that fire. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out. You were meant to rise above mediocrity, to lead, to inspire, to show others what's possible when you refuse to quit. This is your time. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, you have everything you need, the strength, the drive, the purpose. You just need to trust yourself enough to start. Remember this, you don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You just have to be consistent. You don't need permission to chase your dream. You just need courage. And the courage is already inside you. One day, the world will hear your name. They'll tell stories about how you came from nothing and built something extraordinary. They'll talk about how you never gave up, how you kept pushing when it didn't make sense, how you turned your fear of being average into the fire that changed your life. And when that day comes, when the noise fades and the crowd finally sees you, you'll smile quietly, because deep down you'll know the truth the journey made you. The struggle shaped you. The pain refined you. And you'll whisper to yourself, I earned this. So don't stop. Don't slow down. Don't settle for average when extraordinary is still on the table. The world is waiting for your greatness. But first, you have to believe you're capable of it. Every breath is a second chance. Every sunrise is a reset. You can start over right now. You can rewrite your story, reignite your fire, rebuild your faith. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are not your fears. You are the warrior that survived them. So stand tall, straighten your back, lift your head. Because from this day forward, average dies here. The world will know your name not because you were lucky, but because you were relentless. This is your reminder. Don't fear being average. Fear not becoming who you were meant to be. And when the world asks you how you did it, look them straight in the eyes and say, I just refuse to quit